I get one NFL draft to try and save and redeem this Saints franchise. So in today's episode of Madden 25, as you guys can tell, I'm going to be gutting this entire team for draft picks, getting one really good draft, and then after that, I have to trade away all my draft picks just for bum players in general. I won't be able to draft even late round picks later in this. I can do no draft, no free agency, just one really good draft. I cannot sell. So with that being said, I could just gut the entire team right now, but that would also force me going 0-17. So I'm just going to make sure that I go 0-17. I know some people may consider this cheating, but either way, I'm going to gut the team. We're going to suck regardless, but I'm going to skip to the end of the season so that way I can get the proper draft picks, because if I try to trade for them now, they're all just going to give me their projected picks, which aren't technically accurate until the end of the season. So I'd like to see the actual draft picks that I could be collecting. I will be going 0-17. I get one draft, so I think it's fair. If I really wanted to, I could just force in all the worst schemes and just gut my entire team and just have bench warmers on, but we're just going to skip to the end of the season and then we'll go from there. Surprise, surprise, we are 0-17. Hopefully, whenever I generate this new rookie class, it's not total garbage, but we do have a QB at the very top, so that is very promising. Will Lewis out of Purdue, 6 foot, 225 here. I mean, the throw power's there. The speed's not really there. See awareness. He really doesn't look that good at all. There's other top 5 guys on the board. I'm going to look at those guys later, though. And there's some players ready to negotiate here. I'm going to accept the option for Chris Olave because I don't want to let him go. And then Chase Young is cracked in simulation, so I will overpay for him here. And I know it's like I'm going to gut the entire team. I'm going to keep the players that I need to keep rebuilding. But of course, I will let all these other guys go. If Kamara wants to walk and Shaheed wants to walk, I know I could have traded these guys for value, yada, yada, yada. Realistically, Shaheed, Kamara, Johnson, all these other guys, I'm not going to worry about. It's really not that big of a deal if I let them walk. And of course, my trade difficulty is set on normal here. I'm not going to put on easy or hard or try to do fair or realistic trades. I'm just going to take whatever the AI gives me. And for some reason, the AI highly overvalues running backs for some reason. It's just ridiculous how much they ask for them. But I guess I'm just going to have to thug it out and see what we get. And of course, I'm not trading for a running back. But whenever I try to trade away a running back, they're worth nothing. But whenever I try to trade for a running back, they're just worth the sun and the moon. And here we are in the draft, getting ready. And to no one's surprise, we get the #1 overall pick. So I'm not going to explain all these trades. I'm just going to start gutting the team as I see fit. People like Eric McCoy, Chris Olave, Fuaga are actually vital to the team's long-term growth. So I'm actually going to be keeping these guys, but I'm going to gut whoever else I want. So let me try and get a bag here for these players. Let me try and get draft picks only. Can I just get an absolute crap load for this? I'm just going to try and see if this stuff works. Oh my gosh, that actually almost went through. Would that go through here? A first, a second, and a third for these guys, and I'll give up my 6th round pick. I don't want to give up too much. I'm not going to give up my next year's first because that would be cheesy. I'm going to give up my 6th for this and try to get as many picks as I can here. All those guys shipped out. I'm not even going to read it out. And that actually went through. I was just trying to get value here. Pete Warner, Cam Jordan, Brandon Cooks for just a bunch of picks from the Bears. More picks here. You can pause the video if you want. And a little bit more here. I know I'm trading basically nothing for nothing there. So I think I'm going to stop trading here because I really can only just get super late round picks, which I know may or may not be valuable later in the future. The AI will try to sign some free agent guys. I'll try to cut them along the way if they are making a big impact. But if they're depth guys, it really doesn't matter. But my roster here right now isn't really the best. Chris Olave, Eric McCoy, Fuaga, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Chase Young, Caesar, and then Calvin Banks here. I'll have to change that development because he was a first-round pick. And then all these guys, honestly, they're just going to be depth guys for me, so I really don't care about them. So let's see what we have in this draft. Obviously, with the #1 overall pick and only pick 23, I know that seems pretty lackluster, but at the same time, I didn't have that much of great value to trade away. I know I could have got like Chris Olave or yada, 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 and stripped the entire team, but me personally, I want to keep them on my team. I'm trying to save the Saints, but I can only get one draft to do it. And of course, we're going to pick our QB with the #1 overall pick, or I could trade down. Well, actually, no, I couldn't trade down because I can't trade for players, and I can't, of course, do a next year's draft. But Jace Orchard here, elite strength, elite throw power, looks much better than the other guy. A awareness, A throw under pressure, accuracy. Orchard might be the guy here. And then, of course, I get the glitch. But Will Lewis here, trust me, I'm not going to spend this long on each and every pick. I'm just going to do it for these first few picks. he does not look nearly as good. And then we have some later guys who really don't look that good as well. I mean, this guy doesn't look too bad in terms. Chris Robinson out of Syracuse, 6'3", 230 here. Elite strength, elite throw power. Looks pretty good as well, but he really doesn't look as good as Orchard. So Jace Orchard is going to be the pick here out of Wake Forest. We're going to hope he balls out because he's the only guy we can pick for the rest of this rebuild. Ranked number 6, got him at 1, A+ pick, 97 throw power as a rookie. Is nuts. Got a tank for an arm, dude. Absolutely love it. Then we have pick number 23 here. I already have Chase Young, who's a beast in simulation. We got some QBs down the board that I'm just not really looking into. I would like an edge rusher if there is one on the board, or another receiver would be pretty nice to have as well long term. They do matter for simulation. Andrew Bush out of Boston College wouldn't be the worst shout. So let's look at these receivers, quickly look by the skills so that way we don't have to sort through each and every one of them. Andrew Bush actually doesn't look the best. J.D. Haggins here out of LSU, 6'3", 220, solid speed, good acceleration here, A-spec catch, break tackle, B short route, not that bad. Let's look at Andrew Bush here at Boston College. C's across the board. Elite acceleration is really his only highlight there. I would like to get a speedster later down the board. Otis Williams here, good speed, good acceleration, 4.44. He looks pretty good, but I honestly like J.D. Haggins here better out of LSU. He's a big physical guy. He can be our number 2. I'm going to pick up Haggins as the number 2 guy. Ranked number 11, got him at 23. Hidden development. He seems like a baller. Pick number 1 in the second round. I could go receiver again, but I really do need better positions all around. So what is this safety looking like? Javonte Ellis out of Virginia. Great speed, great jumping, solid acceleration here. B awareness, B zone coverage. But that's really all about it for him. Let me look through each guy, and I'll get back to you guys if there's someone that really stands out. Actually, hold up. Quentin Newberry out of Alabama, 6'3", 260. Good speed, good acceleration, great strength, A awareness, B finesse moves, B pursuit. This is the other edge rusher that I'm going to want. Quentin Newberry is going to be the pick to pair alongside Chase Young. Ranked 61, got him at 33, but he has the hidden development, so that's what's important. Should have done this before, but just giving you a quick look. We just drafted a new receiver and a new quarterback. I'm going to give Kelvin Banks that star development. O-line's honestly not that bad. Just need a left guard. A tight end would be nice later down the board as well. And then defensively, a defensive tackle. Just drafted an edge rusher. Need some safeties, linebackers, and another corner for sure, though. So looking into the safeties here, Javonte Ellis is still on the board, but this guy honestly looks a little bit better. Joe Hammond here out of Washington State. Good speed, good acceleration, much more athletic. A awareness, B zone coverage, B pursuit. I've been looking at the safeties. I think Joe Hammond is going to be the better guy here. We're going to pick him. Rank 16, got him at 55. Hidden development. We are having a great draft right now. And then look at all the third round picks we have. That is huge for this team. Do want to get the free safety if there is a good one on the board, maybe strong safeties. Deontay White is on the board here. He has A catching out of Notre Dame, 5'9", 209. He can definitely play free safety for me as well. A catching, B finesse moves, B injury, B play rec. He looks pretty good. Doesn't really have the zone coverage skills, but doesn't look the worst either. And then the other guys on the board really don't look that good at the free safety position. This guy has A block shedding. Don't really need that. But I need these safeties on the board. Deontay White looks really the best. So I'm going to pick up Deontay White, move him to free safety. He's going to be ranked 56. Got him at 65. Hidden development. I am nailing these picks right now. And then for the left guard, I would like a better one long term. Heath Butler out of Wisconsin here. He looks really good. Oh my gosh. Great strength. Elites across the board. So many A's. This is the best third round left guard I've ever seen. Ranked 54. Got him at 77. And of course, hidden development, 90 strength, 83 acceleration for a guy at 300 pounds is nuts. 322 pounds. My bad. He's going to be a starter, of course. I mean, all these guys are going to be a starter because I need them desperately. Got the safeties, got the quarterback, got the receiver. We have a lot of draft picks still left on here. Let's look at the team first so that way I can analyze what I still need. I need the running back for sure. I got the quarterback. Getting the running back is huge. I got the quarterback. I got the receiver. I still need a receiver 3. My offensive line is good. I need a tight end still. I need a defensive tackle number 2. I need linebackers. I got the safeties. I need corners. So linebacker, corner, defensive tackle, tight end, running back, and a third receiver and a tight end. I already said tight end. Probably should have tried to snipe the running back earlier here, but Lynn Lawson is at the top of the board here. Really doesn't look that bad. Lynn Lawson out of Oklahoma State, 5'11", 224 here. Great strength, good acceleration, A trucking, B stiff arm there. Doesn't look bad, but I was more curious about this guy, Trayvon Valentine out of Oregon State here. Great strength, poor agility though, but has a big hitter attribute to him. So I'm really looking at that for Valentine. Both power backs as well. So Valentine interests me. There's guys later down the board that interest me. I think I'm going to pull the trigger right now on Lynn Lawson out of Oklahoma State. I don't think he's going to be a beast, but I think he's going to be better than what we currently have. Ranked 145, got him at 83. Normal development, probably my worst pick yet, but it's really not that bad. And then for the defensive tackle, speed rusher here in Jay Kaufman out of Clemson, 6'1", 288, elite speed, great acceleration, A finesse moves, A play rec. He's going to be the pick here. Ranked 68, got him at 87. Normal development, but he's still going to be a good player. Middle linebackers, let's look at these guys, see if we have any real standouts here. This guy doesn't look too bad. Kenny Glover out of Alabama, good speed, elite agility. His skills don't look horrible, but they don't look the best. I'm going to reach on this, I feel like, a little bit, but still. Ranked 79, got him at 90. Wasn't a reach, normal development, but still not that bad. And then there's another linebacker here that kind of interested me later down the board. Day 3 guy here, and Carlos Whitlock out of USC. 6'2", 251 here. Poor speed. Really makes me want to say no, but his skills make up for it. A finesse moves, B hit, power pursuit, play rec, block, shedding tackle. Carlos Whitlock is going to be the pick here. Ranked 70, got him at 97. Hidden development. You like to see that. Good 4th round pick. Now, this is when our picks are starting to dwindle down here. This is the problem. I need to go defensive tackle again, in my opinion. Let's look at the physicals. And then, of course, we're going to sort by strength. Elite strength on this guy. When is he supposed to go off the board? Post UDFA for Stanley Knox. So I'm going to take the risk and pass on him now. And then let's look at the better guys at the top of the board here. Oh, all these middle linebackers are just projected UDFAs. Wow, that is very tragic how quickly this board slid out. This guy doesn't seem bad, though, in terms of actual physicals. So I might pick him up later, but as of right now, it's going to be a no. I need to look at corner for sure. I am still aware that I need a tight end, but as of right now, I think corner takes priority, in my opinion. This guy doesn't look too bad in terms of athleticism. Tyquan Winthorpe, A press, A catching looks nice. Great jumping, great speed, decent acceleration, A tackle. This guy's more of a safety than an actual corner. If there's anyone here with raw physicals other than Tyquan Winthorpe, let's look at the man coverage. Best one's a C, B for zone coverage, post UDFA, and Lonnie Cooks. Maybe that's worth taking it down the board. Your last name being Cooks as a corner is terrible, dude. If you ever get burned once, they're going to be like, oh, his last name's Cook. But Tyquan Winthorpe out of Colorado State, he has the physicals. We're just going to pick him up here. Well, he has the attributes. Ranked 137, got him at 122. Hidden development, dude. I am cooking on these late round picks. In the 5th round, we have 2 more draft picks here. Need to analyze my team again. Might want to double down on running back. I'm good on the offensive line. I want a 3rd receiver. I want a tight end. So tight end is a number 1 here for sure. And then I think I'm okay on linebacker, honestly. I drafted a defensive tackle. I would still like a 3rd one. So defensive tackle for sure. 3rd corner, 3rd receiver, and tight end. So tight end needs to be the priority here, and then I'm probably going to go corner. The tight ends suck. This guy really doesn't look that bad, though. Post UDFA, Alex Boston out of New Hampshire here, not from Boston. Great strength, good speed, great acceleration, A catch in traffic, break tackle catching. Alex Boston's going to be the pick here. Ranked 129, got him at 142, normal development, not bad value. I'll take it. And for the receivers, let's sort by physicals and find some crazy fast guy here. See if we can get something going. Poor strength on this guy. And Bo Sellers, 180, 6 foot out of Washington State. He just has the physicals. He's not very good in general, but we're going to pick him anyways. Ranked 140, got him at 147. Normal development, 93 speed, 91 acceleration. I'll take it. Then in the 6th round, we have a plethora of picks here. So let me go to defensive tackle and sort by physicals and just go back to strength. Elite strength from Stanley Knox here out of Houston here. Elite strength is really all I care about. Let me pull the trigger on that. Ranked 164, got him at 161. Hidden development, baby. That's why you take the elite strength guys. Then let me try and double down on that again. I don't think there's another elite strength guy there, but if there's a great strength, ooh, there's 2 great strengths here. This guy is marginal poor agility, marginal poor jumping. I'd rather have the agility than the jumping here. And Niles Pleasant here, he is great strength, great acceleration. We're going to pick up Niles Pleasant here. Ranked 134, got him at 177. Really good value there. And I know you guys are going to be saying, you're neglecting corner. I picked a solid corner up earlier. Let me get that depth going here now. I just didn't like what was on the board before. What was that zone coverage guy? The zone coverage, B zone coverage for Lonnie Cooks out of LSU. Let's pick him up because of that. Ranked 158, got him at 176. Hidden development. Don't ever doubt my skills. AKA, it was just me doubting showing my skills because I'm literally recording in my room by myself. But hey, I'm cooking, boys. And I neglected running back again for a long time. Leo Hines doesn't seem that bad here. I mean, honestly, he seems like the best one. Leo Hines, power back out of North Carolina, another power back, great strength there. That's really all he's got going for him, though, with a few skills. And then anyone else on the board that really stands out to me, Jimmy Brinkley here, a ball carrier vision is super huge at LSU as well. The LSU counterpart here in Jimmy Brinkley. Is he also a power back? He's an elusive back with F juke move, but B stiff arm. Interesting. I'm going to pick him anyways here. Ranked 194, got him at 179. Normal development, but not horrible. May sound crazy what I'm about to say, but a wild kicker could be super clutch. Wyatt, dude. I have to draft this guy. Wyatt. Stupidest name in the world. It's almost as if you're naming your kid John Johnson III. Yes, there's someone in the NFL named that. Good kick power from Wyatt. A awareness, D kick accuracy. I'm picking him for the memes. Wyatt ranked 99 in the class. Got him at 184. Wyatt, what a man. Oh, I accidentally simulated to the end of the draft. That was my biggest fear. No, okay, thankfully we finished the 6th round. I meant to go to the 7th. I had a few 7th round picks. Hopefully it drafted a couple tight ends for me because I needed that. But anyways, Orchards, 77. Big hitter, 75 for J.D. Haggins, 73 for Newberry, the edge rusher, 75 for the strong safety, 73. 68 was my first kind of miss there, but it's not that bad in the 3rd round. And then 72, 71, 72, 68 with hidden development. And then Alex Boston, 68 for Bo Sellers, 67 for Stanley Knox with hidden development. Niles Pleasant was not that bad either. Lonnie Cooks, hidden development, 68 overall. And then this is when the AI started picking guys here. No, I guess I skipped this guy. I guess I skipped my pick here because I did not pick that guy. Picked up Jimmy Brinkley, picked up Wyatt, and then they picked up a receiver here in Jose Malton out of Oklahoma. So not that bad, not that fast either. Probably won't be the starter, but honestly, really not that bad. Really not that bad of a draft. I think it was really good, especially for the amount of value that we got later down the board. But this is what we got to rock out with. I got to trade away all my next draft picks just for bums that are going to get cut. So now I'm going to be taking my next year's draft picks and just completely dumping them to another team, seeing if they accept this. So we got all of that done for a second. I didn't get my 3rd in there, but I'll trade it to another team. Let's trade it to a separate conference. Let's not give it to the Bengals. Let's give it to the Browns. They're in poverty. They need it. I'm going to be trading away all this value for, let's see who the worst player on their team is. Tight end Blake Whiteheart. I need a depth player that's not going to do anything, so let's do Jerry, or I don't know. Sure, let's do Blake Whiteheart. He's not going to really help them in any way. So all that for Blake Whiteheart, and then I'm going to do it for the rest of my picks. So now I literally have no draft picks for the next 3 years. I'm going to try and see if we can get this rebuild done in the next 3 to 4 seasons. Now, this is the team after the draft. Not really confident in the running back room that I have, but it's going to have to work. I want to put Sellers up there because he's an actual guy that we drafted. And then Moulton as well is going to move up. So we got all these guys. I know some people are not going to like that other players are here. Let's put Taysom Hill down, please. Why cannot Taysom Hill move down? Bro, move Taysom Hill down. Do I have to cut him? I don't want. Oh no, Boston's on. My bad. Let's not change. Let's change that. My bad. So anyways, Taysom Hill is now moved down there. I really like the offensive line. We honestly got really lucky with the young guys that we got on the offensive line, especially with the Saints drafting Kelvin Banks and Fuaga, both with their 1st round picks in the last 2 years. Orchard hopefully is going to be a baller. Really good pick there. My receiving core is nice. My running back group is the only thing that I'm truly concerned about. And then Newberry, I'm going to move down. I'm going to move Glover to the outside. And then, honestly, we'll go from there. And then I need my is it Sanker? Where is my other guy? Where is my strong safety? Did they cut him? No, they did not. Deontay White. Let's move him over to free safety. That's the guy that I wanted to move over to free safety. I thought they cut him at first. I was about to lose it. But yeah, let's move up Winthorpe because he's actually part of the team. And then let's move up Cooks to the number 3 here. And then Quentin Newberry is going to be coming off the edge. And then I'm going to put Glover at the left outside linebacker. So Glover is going to come to the outside. We got Kaufman and Knox. Knox is going to be the number 2 just because he has the hidden development. I like my depth here. Linebackers, I wish I had a little bit more. It's probably going to be the weakest part of my team other other than my running backs. I got the starters here. I know I didn't trade away everyone, but I did trade away a lot of people. I get one draft to try and rebuild this team. Obviously, I give myself a little bit of leniency for the younger guys here. And yeah, we're looking pretty solid here. I want to make sure our scheme is in the West Coast scheme for the, West Coast spread for the Chiefs. So that way we can beat a passing scheme because I am weak at the running back position. And then honestly, this might be a decent time to try out different playbooks. I do like New England's playbook for a little bit, and then let me try out the Packers playbook. That's something I've been wanting to try. So yeah, this is going to be the schemes I'm going to be running for this video. Let's see if we got it with Rizzy here as our coach. Orchard hopefully is going to be a baller. 76 overall team, honestly not that bad of a start as I thought it was going to be. Really like the setup we got going. Got to try and develop these players. Have no draft picks, can't use free agency. Let's see how year number 1 goes at the midseason mark. Really long start to the video. 5-2 at the first start. What a day, boys, to be alive. Worst rushing offense in the NFL. Defense not doing so hot, but 7th best passing offense, coming off a loss to the Buccaneers, but barely scraping by the Vikings. Not going to do scouting national focus because we obviously don't need it. Try and maintain the players we have. And as you can see by the cap room, Saints fans are not used to seeing all that cap room. Really cool to see that there. All these players technically aren't necessarily part of my team because I drafted them. So I'm going to let all these guys walk because they're not technically part of this rebuild. They're just extra guys, except for my GOAT, Will Clapp. He has to stay here. With a name like that, he can have all the money he wants. Will Clapp is our GOAT. He's going to be staying on our team forever. Brian Brzee, I'm going to keep, of course, but then the rest of the guys are just going to be filled in by filler players. But Brian Brzee was one of the guys I wanted to keep because of his youth. Everyone else can just walk and just be filled in with free agents because that's just part of the rebuild. But let's see if we can make the playoffs in year number 1. And we go from 5-2 to 5-12. Wow, what a start, dude. Bro, what happened? We got a loss, a win, 5-game winning streak, and then we just lost for the rest of the season. I did not force any of my games, dude. Oh my gosh. Defense was terrible, but honestly not as bad as the offense. Stats and awards, Orchard did awful. 31st offense in the NFL, defensively 27th here. 3,800 yards, 29 touchdowns, 17 picks. Honestly, you got sacked 44 times with our offensive line. It's crazy because I literally just did a rebuild about how your offensive line doesn't matter. I had like 65 overall offensive linemen that only gave up 34 sacks. But Jace Orchard, yikes, man. A loss in 2.8 per carry, awful. Probably the worst running back season I've seen. No fumbles, though, 8 touchdowns. Chris Olave almost 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. J.D. Haggins here with 830 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bub Means 800 yards and 10 touchdowns. I wanted to put the other guys in the slot. Alex Boston not doing too bad. Kelvin Banks sucks, dude. Allows 20 sacks. Saga allows 8. Eric McCoy allows 8. 4 for Caesar and 4 for Heath Butler. Kenny Glover with 114 tackles. Tackles for a loss. 16 for Brian Brzee. 14 for Jay. 10 for Chase Young. Sacks. 5.5 for Jay. Really? That's it? 4 interceptions for Tyquan Winthorpe, the rookie. 3 for Kool-Aid McKinstry, 2 for Glover, and then deflections, 7 for Winthorpe, 7 for Glover, 6 for Kool-Aid McKinstry, and then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. What a start to the rebuild. And the Chargers beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, crushing them. Khalil Mack wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP. And there are no awards here for the Saints, unfortunately. Would have really liked a Rookie of the Year. And Orchard comes with superstar development. That is huge for the team here. He just comes with that, so that is going to be great long term. And then I don't see any upgrades on the offense. Butler comes with star development. Haggins comes with star development. Sellers did not get an upgrade because I didn't put him in the slot. And then White, Deontay White comes with superstar X Factor at a Notre Dame here. Baller pick. No, he didn't come with... Oh my gosh, I just started coughing up a storm. He didn't come with it. He got Superstar X Factor, and he earned it somehow, but he did come with Superstar Development. And someone who also came with Superstar Development is Hammond, Winthorpe, and Newberry. Cooks with Star Development, Knox with Star Development, Whitlock with Star Development, and Glover earns Star Development. Huge start to the rebuild. Already having 3 Superstars on defense and an X Factor already, and a normal goes to Star Development, and then a Superstar pick on offense. Huge for the team. Went from a 76 to an 81. Big upgrades, but I can't upgrade the team any further from here. I just have to develop them. So for the negotiations, I'll do Brian Brzee, and then I'll just let these other guys walk because I just can, because I don't really need them. I'll just let the AI fill in a bunch of depth players, which really doesn't matter for the overall team. And I'm going to skip past the draft and just get into the next season. Don't need free agency, don't need the draft, don't have any draft picks anyways. Now this is the team moving into the next season. Let's look at the upgrades a little bit. Lawson went from a 68 to a 71. and Boston went from a 68 to a 70 here. Not that bad at all. Really relying on these developments. Oh my gosh, Jay here is already 79. He's going to start over Knox. I didn't know he developed that quickly. Defensively here, Winthorpe, Cooks. Let's move up Cooks. Got all that. Everyone looks pretty good. Special teams wise, Wyatt's here. Let's go, baby. Wyatt. And then specialist wise, let's move up. Moulton can start. Lawson's going to be there. Isaiah Foskey is not going to do there. Why is Quinton Berry the second string? That is stupid. That should not how that should be, bro. Come on. Okay, I'm going to have to manually change that. Anyways, let's see how we do at the midseason mark. We went from 5-2 to 2-5. What a switch from last season. 10th best offense in points per game. Defense is just not doing well. I know I just started and they're not really developed the best, but I'm going to change the defense and see if there's just a better option there. I might just switch back to the Bills defense, and I know Green Bay's technically 3-4 playbook, so let me see if I want to test out a bit better 4-3. I don't think Washington is going to be good. Let's try Houston's. It's supposed to work for base 4-3, so let's see if Houston's defense will be better under this. And for the players ready to negotiate, Chris Olave, sure, just give him a bunch of money because I have the money to pass out. Just going to try and retain those players. Don't need Isaiah. Don't need any of these other guys, though. So these guys can just be depth players. And then a punter. Did the AI just randomly sign this guy? I mean, sure. No, I'm not going to do that. I'd just rather have the AI just sign a bunch of depth guys. I guess doesn't really matter at this point if I re-sign the players that I already have. I mean, they already did sign him in free agency, so I really don't see a problem with this. So I've changed my mind. He's staying on the team. 152 million. Like, I could really sign anyone I want, but I'm giving myself a little bit of leniency here. I don't have the draft. I don't have free agency, and there is a receiver breakout challenge. This would be huge if we could get this. And it's going to be for, who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. This guy, Bo Sellers, is he my slot guy? Yeah, Bo Sellers, 100 receiving yards to increase his depth trait. He's normal development, so this would be big long term. I will simulate this week against the Bears, see if we can beat them and get Bo Sellers that 100-plus yard game. We lost the Bears. We're 2-6 now. Let's see that receiver breakout challenge and see if we got that. He's growing, he's working hard, and keeps getting better. Oh, that's a nice sign. No dev upgrade. What? It looks, well, okay, that's weird. I thought he would do a lot better than that, but I guess not. Let's move into the playoffs. 4-13, even worse than last year, but our defense slightly improved, so maybe I'll keep it there, maybe I'll just move it to the Bills. But Orchard, I mean, slight improvement, still really bad pass rating, 27th best offense in the NFL, 24th defense, almost 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 14 receptions, better ratio this year, got sacked less as well, so that is improving. He needs to complete the ball more. Lawson goes from 2.8 per carry to 3.5, nice improvement, but he still needs to be better. No fumbles, 6 touchdowns, Chris Olave, 11 touchdowns, almost 900 yards, Haggins here with 4 touchdowns, and almost 900 yards. Alex Boston, pretty good year. Bo Sellers, 800 yards, 10 touchdowns, good year. Fuaga allows 10 sacks, much better season from Kelvin Banks, but it still needs improvement. Offensive line just did a better job in general here. And then Heath Butler, the lowest offensive lineman on my team, and allows the least amount of sacks. Carlos Whitlock with 144 tackles, 115 for Kenny, tackles for a loss, 13 for Brian Brzee, 12 for Chase Young, 10 for Jake Kaufman here. He's been great. Sacks, 11.5 for Brian Brzee, 6.5 for Kaufman, 6 for Chase Young, 3.5 for Newberry. Interceptions, 1 for Kenny Glover's, deflections, 10 for Carlos Whitlock. He balled out this season. 144 tackles, 10 deflections, 7 deflections for Kenny Glover, Winthorpe, and Kool-Aid McKinstry. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns, 0. And the Ravens beat the Niners in the Super Bowl again. The Niners cannot catch a break in the Super Bowl. Derrick Henry wins the Super Bowl MVP. Brock Purdy wins the league MVP here. That'll never happen, but there are no awards here for the Saints. And for the team upgrades offensively, really, we didn't get a Bo Sellers upgrade. That's really unfortunate here for the team. Defensively, I mean, we're an 84 overall team with a little bit of morale down. So defensively, Whitlock goes to superstar development. That is huge for the long-term development. Jake Hoffman still doesn't have star development, which is wild to me. But the team is slowly developing. It's going to take a while, but we're going to get there. I'm going to switch into the Buffalo defense because that's usually what I like to switch into for a base 4-3. So let's see how that goes. And for the re-signings, I'll accept the option for Fuaga, and then all these other guys I'm just not going to worry about. $186 million to spend in free agency and to use in the draft, but of course, I get none of it. Let's move into the next season. Season number 3 with the new team, 74 overall for Lawson. Orchard's up to an 89 overall. Boston's up to an 74 overall with the boost. 84 overall team in general. Let's move up Sellers a little bit. Let's move down Means and put up Moulton a little bit more. Everything else seems pretty good. Defensively, like what we have, Kaufman's been really, really balling. Tempted to to make him the starter. I'm pretty sure he's the starting rush defensive end right now. Everything is looking really good. Specialist-wise, Quentin Newberry's actually playing there. Whitlock did so good last year. He has to be the starter again. Sellers, Moulton, everything's in the right position this time. 84 overall team. We're slowly progressing. We got to let our superstar quarterback cook. Year number 3. Let's see how we do by the midseason mark. 1-5. We just keep getting worse and worse. Defense is actually getting better. Offense is getting worse, though. That's the problem. Kansas City playbook might not be the move then. Let's try air raid with the Cincinnati playbook. I feel like that would be a little bit better. It gives the quarterback full control of the play line at the line of scrimmage. Offense focuses passing plays, but trust the quarterback to diagnose the defense and call audibles. So yeah, I feel like that would be a lot better. So let's see how we do with the Cincinnati playbook. Maybe I should have just changed the scheme and left the Kansas City playbook. $208 million to spend here. Kool-Aid McKinstry, sure, take whatever you want here. And then we have Kelvin Banks here for some reason, but sure, I'll just pay him. Brian Brzee, why not just pay these guys? Honestly, I don't even need to show this. It's just me maintaining the team. I have the money, so it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, so all these other extras aren't really useful. I'm going to accept the option for Jace Orchard and J.D. Haggins here. So I'm going to try to rebuild this team. I know I said 3 to 4 years, but I'm going to take as long as it takes here. Let's see if we can somehow make the playoffs. 7-10, our best season yet. Offense did technically improve in points per game. Defense still isn't the best. Jace Orchard slowly improving the pass rating. His passing touchdowns is getting better. 28th. Passing offense, well, not passing offense, just offense in general. 34 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 99 pass rating, got sacked 33 times. He's slowly improving, but I expect more from a superstar 90 overall quarterback. No fumbles, 6 touchdowns, 3.1 per carry for Lynn Lawson. He's really not doing that great. Chris Olave, almost 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Bo Sellers, almost 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. That's definitely deserving of star development. If they don't give it to him, I'll force it. And then J.D. Haggins, 950 yards, 5 touchdowns. Alex Boston, 640 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kelvin Banks sucks again. Fuaga, 9 sacks allowed, 4 for Caesar, 4 for Heath, and then 1 for Eric McCoy. Carlos Whitlock with 108 tackles for a loss, 15 for Jake Kaufman, 9 for Quentin Newberry, 8 for Chase Young, sacks, 69 for Quentin Newberry. He breaks out, has a great season. Chase Young has 11.5, 7 for Jake Kaufman, interceptions, 3 for Kool-Aid McKinstry, deflections, 14 for Carlos Whitlock. He balls, dude. 8 for Kool-Aid McKinstry and Lonnie Cooks, and then safeties, 1 for Brian Brzee, and defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Ravens beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Roquan Smith wins the Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen wins the league MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. Once again, no awards here for the Saints. And for the team upgrades offensively, we look exactly the same, but I'm going to change Bo Sellers to star development. He definitely deserves it. Almost 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns in the year. I think is at least worth star development. If you guys don't think so, you're just wrong. He's wearing number 9, which is wrong. That's Drew Brees' number, but honestly, I just don't care enough to change it. Defensively here, everyone else seems exactly the same. Was really hoping Newberry would get superstar development. Kaufman's been amazing, and he still doesn't have star development. Super disrespectful. I want to upgrade it, but I'm not going to. He's already higher overall than Brian Brzee at this point. He's going to be a starter because he's been balling so hard, but we're going to see what we have for the next season. 86 overall team, slowly improving, but we're getting there. For the players ready to negotiate, I'm going to accept the option for Jace Orchard here and J.D. Haggins, and then all these other extras not going to worry about. And then, of course, let's just skip in right to the next season. And the team moving into the next season. What is this? Season number 4. Looking pretty decent here. The running back is still a big issue. Really wish I drafted one earlier on, but the defense is looking pretty good. I would like it if my team would just, actually give me something. I know it's only an 86, but it's really not that bad. It's not as bad as the AI is saying it is, but 7-10 in the previous season, slowly but surely getting there. Let's see how we do by the midseason mark, honestly. We haven't been close to getting to the playoffs, but 7-10, it was the best we did last year. 4-3, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere here, boys. 6th best passing offense, 5th best defense in points per game. I'll take it. It's the best we've done so far. We got some weekly awards after coming off a loss here. Well, Carlos Whitlock is a baller, dude. 11 tackles, 1 interception. He is doing so well for us. He was like, a 3rd, 4th round pick. He's been balling for us. So really like that. Players ready to negotiate. Doesn't really matter here. Deontay, White, no, all these players want to get paid now, so I got to make sure I get these guys on my team, and I'm not going to worry about the contracts too badly. So we're going to sign all these guys to the team. Quentin Newberry, oh my gosh, I got to go through each and every one of these. I'm just going to pay these guys all a bag, and I don't think I can do that. I'm running out of money pretty quickly, so I better hope I win the simulation like this season. I should have not given all these guys a bag, but evidently I did. I really thought if I didn't have to pay a quarterback, it wouldn't be this bad, but I'm out of money now. Welcome back to your typical Saints rebuild. Hopefully we win the Super Bowl this season. And we actually make the playoffs here, going 12-5 here. 9th best passing offense, 4th best defense, 5th best defensive passing game, 19th rushing defense, which is surprising considering how awesome Jay Kaufman is. And just to prove that I did not rig anything, there are no forced wins on this board. Bye week, home, sure, whatever. And then there are no forced wins. So nothing was forced here. Completely legit. Stats and awards here. Orchard, top 10 QB. 18th best offense, though, for yards. And then 11th best defense here. 4,200 yards, 34 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. This is what I've been waiting for. 110 passing yards. Got sacked 43 times, though. Yikes, dude. Lawson, 3.7 per carry, 11 touchdowns, no fumbles. Unfortunately, that is his best season yet. Bo Sellers, baller, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. That should be superstar development. Chris Olave, 101 receptions, 1,400 yards, 4 touchdowns. J.D. Haggins, almost 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Alex Boston, almost 550 yards and 5 touchdowns. Sacks allowed here, 13 from Kelvin Banks. He still sucks. Fuaga still allows 9. Heath Butler, his worst season yet. 5 for Eric McCoy, 5 for Cesar Ruiz. Where is our GOAT? Will Clapp allows no sacks. It doesn't matter how many snaps he played. He clapped 79 cheeks in one season. Needs to be acknowledged. Superstar X Factor Will Clapp. Carlos Whitlock with 112 tackles for a loss, 18 for Chase Young, 13 for Brian Brzee, 12 for Quentin Newberry, 11 for Jay Kaufman. Balling on the defensive line, 15 sacks for Newberry, 14 for Brian Brzee, 11.5 for Chase Young, 7 for Jay Kaufman. Interceptions here, 3 for Joe Hammond and 3 for Kool-Aid McKinstry. Deflections, 5 for Carlos Whitlock, 4 for a handful of others. Safeties on the team, 1 for Newberry, 1 for Chase Young. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the 8-9 Seattle Seahawks to move on to the divisional round here in year number 4? And the answer is no. 28-21. That's very frustrating. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, you're out of money, you're screwed for the rest of the rebuild. Hell no, dude. I'm turning off salary cap, and I know you guys are going to be like, oh, well, that's cheating, Vic. It's not. I don't have a draft. I don't have a free agency. And I can't use free agency, so I can't sign anyone. I can't use the draft at all. If anything, it's really just making the other teams more overpowered because they can just infinitely re-sign their players. But I am not going to live in a society where I built up this team from the ground up and I cannot afford to pay them, and then I'm going to have to move on and make this harder on myself. No, I'm not doing that. And the Chiefs beat the Lions in their first ever Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen wins the league MVP. And once again, no awards for the Saints. But I honestly think the next season could be our season. Bo Sellers gets superstar development. That's awesome to see. Defensively, we're an 88 overall team here. And wow, Newberry still doesn't get a development upgrade. Kaufman doesn't either, which is really, really annoying because they're really good players. But hey, 88 overall team. Let me finish re-signing all the players with my unlimited cap room now because I'm not putting another restriction on myself. Okay, so now that I signed all my players, all these other extras can leave other than my GOAT Will Clapp. He can stay, of course. He's going to clap all those cheeks for our team. Get Will Clapp a ring. And then Wyatt, can't forget my GOAT, of course, him as well. He's going to get re-signed. No cap room is on right now. Skipping free agency in the draft. I'm sure so many teams are going to be loaded next season because of their limited cap, but I just have to deal with it. Season number 5 for the team. Let's see how many years this takes, but we are slowly building up this team with no draft and no free agency. It's looking pretty good. 88 overall team. Season number 5, whatever. Let's honestly just skip to the playoffs. I have unlimited cap. I accidentally simulated to the midseason mark instead of the playoffs, but hey, I'll take it. 7-0. I did not cheat anything. I'll show you the schedule. 7-0 already. I meant to go to the playoffs, but hey, this is what we got. Oh, that's the week 8 matchups. Team schedule here. Win. No force. 3-0 win against the Falcons. The most boring game ever. I would not pay to watch that game. I would not have someone pay me to watch that game. But anyways, now let's skip to the playoffs. Actually, there's a defensive lineman breakout challenge. Let me get that first. Please be Jay Kaufman. He's been so good for us. Quentin Newberry. Okay, let's just do a superstar goal for him and see if we can get that. Get 2 sacks to upgrade his development rate. That's actually pretty big, but he will be getting an X factor if he does do it. So let's see if we can beat the Bears and get that development upgrade. We beat the Bears. We're 8-0. Team is balling. You love to see it. Let's see if Quentin Newberry becomes an X factor. That's what makes him so valuable. The amount of attention he gets. XP earned. Quentin Newberry. Okay, they said he was good, but I guess he wasn't good enough to get X Factor, which is a little bit annoying. But anyways, let's see what we do in the playoffs. We're 8-0. If we miss the playoffs, I'm going to crash out. 13-4, 90 overall team with all the morale boost. Let's go. This is what I've been waiting for. And Orchard here, really good. 16th in pass rating, though. 12th best offense, defensively, third in the NFL. 4,200 yards, 38 touchdowns, 9 receptions, 109 pass rating. Got sacked 40 times. The offensive line just doesn't matter. 3.6 per carry, 5 touchdowns, no fumbles from loss. And I really should have drafted a different running back, but it's okay. It is what it is. Chris Olave, 111 receptions, 1,800 yards, and then not 1,800, my bad. 1,100 and then 88 yards, 9 touchdowns. Bo Sellers, almost 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. J.D. Haggins here, his best season with 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Sacks, Kelvin Banks still sucks here, and then I'm not even going to worry about that. Carlos Whitlock has been a baller. 108 tackles, 6 tackles for a loss, 14 tackles for a loss for Quentin Newberry and Chase Young, 12 for Brian Brzee, 11 for Jay Kaufman here. Sacks, 12.5 for Kaufman. He's been so good, dude. 11 for Newberry, 11 for Brian Brzee, 10 for Chase Young. Interceptions, 3 for Kenny Glover and Taquan Winthorpe. Deflections, 7 for Carlos Whitlock. Who else? 6 for Winthorpe, and then 5 for Lonnie Cooks. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns, 0. So we've been balling. I need to win my first playoff game. I know the Eagles are a good team. I mean, actually, they're only an 86 by this simulation. They're an 89 overall, but not 89 overall. 8-9 team, 86 overall. We beat them. Should have beat the Seahawks last season. You're facing 9-8 Los Angeles Rams. This is the furthest we made it. We're in season 5. Let's see if we can beat the Rams to move on to the conference championship. I think I realized why I'm giving up so many sacks. It's probably because I'm in the Cincinnati playbook. Makes total sense because Joe Burrow just lives in offensive lineman poverty forever. But anyways, 7-0 here in the second quarter, 14-0 by halftime. We punt, giving the ball up there, 17-0. Defensive shutdown right now. Probably Jay Kaufman absolutely balling, 14-17. And my offense is just choking. What the hell happened, dude? As thankfully we get bailed out there. But 17-14, defense clutched us. Let's move on to the conference championship. Here we are in the conference championship, here to face the 11-6 Atlanta Falcons. They're an 89 overall, not going to waste any time. Let's see if we can beat them to move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Falcons. They're going to open up with a punt. We're going to do a punt. They're going to score first, 7-7 game now at the end of the first quarter, 14-7 game. Offense is going to need to step it up because the defense is not doing anything this game. 21-14, 21-21 here, as it's going to be 24-21. Offense, you need to get that. You need to get that. Let's slow this down. 21-21, 1 minute left. Big touchdown. Defense needs to hold. They haven't been doing too much all game. They're not doing too much now. They're trying to hold now. 9 seconds left, and that will be the game. Defense clutches up there at the end, but the offense is really what saved us there. Complete opposite from the last game, as it looks like Orchard really didn't have that great of a game here, as he threw a pick. Well, actually, no, he didn't throw a pick. It was Penix that threw a pick. But anyways, who ate up all the touchdowns? Lawson, 3.2 per carry. Typical game from him. But anyways, we did make the Super Bowl, so this is huge for us, huge for the rebuild in season number 5 with no draft, no free agency. I mean, no free agency, but 1 draft at the very beginning. But anyways, let's see if we can win this Super Bowl and cap this off with a win for this rebuild challenge. Here to face the 11-6 Indianapolis Colts. I'm pretty sure Anthony Richardson is like broken in simulation. Let me see if that's still their quarterback. And yes, Anthony Richardson, superstar development, 94 overall, is still their quarterback. And for the team upgrades, offensively, we look the exact same. Sellers honestly should be an X factor at this point. And I'm tired of the disrespect from Kaufman. He deserves superstar development. And honestly, I don't even care. Some people can call it cheating. He's going to get superstar development. I've never upgraded someone by 2 before, but he's been balling all rebuild. He just had 12.5 sacks, 11 tackles for a loss as a defensive tackle. He has been balling the entire rebuild and just been getting disrespected after disrespect from the AI. He deserves it. Newberry should honestly be an X factor. Honestly, Kaufman should be an X factor by this point. But hey, I'll just settle for superstar there. 90 overall team, here to face the Indianapolis Colts in the Super Bowl to see if we can cap this rebuild off with a win. Here we are against the Colts. They're going to open up with a punt. We're going to start with a punt as well. They're going to punt again. We're going to punt again. Most boring Super Bowl of all time behind the Patriots and Rams Super Bowl. 3-7 game against the Colts here. 6-7 game against the Colts. 6-10. Offense needs to step it up here in the fourth quarter, and they do. Big 2 pass plays there, and it will be a 19-10 Super Bowl win against the Indianapolis Colts as the defense clutches up. Orchard giving up damps there to Fuago, even though he sucked throughout the entire year. I guess that's the perks of having the Cincinnati playbook. Really really not that great. But anyways, I'll take it as a Super Bowl win and a successful rebuild challenge for the team. Let me see what we have. Orchard is probably going to get Super Bowl MVP with 120 pass rating, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Lawson, 2.9 per carry. God, he sucks. And then Olave with 2 touchdowns, 103 yards. It's a great game from him. And then let's look at the Saints stats here. Tackles for a loss, none. Sacks, 2.5 for Newberry, 1 for Chase Young, Kaufman with half, and Kool-Aid McKinstry with half a sack. So really good rebuild from us. Will be a successful rebuild challenge. Rebuilding the Saints in general is just a challenge, but with only 1 year of draft and no free agency, this was difficult, but I'm glad I was able to get it done in only 5 seasons. Really didn't think it was that bad. But anyways, guys, if you guys did make it to the very end of this video, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Chris Olave is going to win the Super Bowl MVP to round us out. If you guys have any other challenge ideas, let me know down in the comments below. It would be much appreciated. Let's do a final victory lap for what the team looks like. Lawson sucked the entire video. And then defensively, Jay Kaufman, my GOAT. Special teams, Wyatt, baby. The legend himself, Wyatt. This is how I'm going to end out the video. See you later. Coming from Wyatt himself.